So about a 15-minute walk from our hotel, straight over Westminster Bridge, we arrived here. Are you going to video it for me? Thanks. Get everything in it. It's videoing now. Buildings. Oh, that's the look at. It's not crashing. I'm there. I'm just putting look out so we can nice and clean. And of course over there's the Houses of Parliament, and you know who tried to blow that up?
You, because you're a bad person.
And we've got Big Ben going on in there. Here we are at the Houses of Parliament. We walked straight past those and behind. Absolutely beautiful. It looks like he didn't manage to blow them up this time. And here we are at Westminster Abbey. Again, if you're in a wheelchair, you're getting free.
The stained glass right round the whole thing was absolutely beautiful, especially with the sunlight coming in behind it. There was a lot of really ornate different parts of the ceiling, where they had different, like, roses and stuff on for the different flowers of England.
Really decorative and a lot of detail on everything. I mean, we spent about 2 hours in there.
This is the bell from the ship that brought in the unknown soldier after the war.
We see that later, the tomb.
This is the tomb of the unknown soldier.
You see it a lot of the time on telly, don't you? And the Queen putting down wreaths. This is the altar, and we were lucky enough when we turned up, they actually did a service there as well, but we weren't allowed to film. But I did try and get some sneaky ones in, but Lauren got told off.
This is the grave of Sir Isaac Newton. Right round the whole place are different tombs for different famous people. Some of them are kings and queens, other ones are like Sir Isaac Newton.
They did a poet's corner, didn't they? And then they talked about the starry sky and how many stars were up there, so we sort of looked up a while. This is where the Queen sits for all the ceremonies. Really, really beautiful. Oh, look, there's a starry sky again. I remember on Facebook as well, there's some sort of joke, isn't there, about Queen takes Bishop or something on that floor. Just James clowning around. This floor has only recently been renovated. It was Edward the Confessor who put it in, and now the coronation chair is always placed in the middle because he wants to feel like it is the centre of the universe. We didn't get to see Elizabeth I or Mary Queen of Scots. That was shut due to COVID. So that sounds to me like we need another trip down there.
Down the same way, though, was all the other tombs of kings and queens that had been buried there. Most of them weren't labelled, so you sort of had to guess which ones they were. But the gravesite of Anne of Cleves was down there, who was Henry VIII's fifth wife.
And of course, Edward the Confessor, because we know a little bit about
This
him.
is the tomb of King Henry III, who came to the throne at age 9 in the 13th century. He was quite an unpopular king because he rose to power during the Barons' War. A lot of the tombs that were there were either unnamed or they did have names, but they were in Latin, so we couldn't understand whose they were.
And a lot of them were quite far away as well, so we couldn't always peep through the railings and see who it was behind.
They were really impressive to look at, though, even if we couldn't see them.
Edward the Confessor, who was just a king at one point, but he started performing miracles, healing people, helping them walk, see again. So he was made into
A saint.
a saint, so people now want to steal things from his tomb, just in the hope that they're going to be healed themselves.
This is the main chamber for the kings and queens.
Was it the ladies' chapel?
It was, I think, but Henry VII was buried in the middle with his wife. And to the side of it are two separate ones with Mary Queen of Scots and Elizabeth in.
That was Oliver Cromwell buried there. Lazy boy having a rest in a wheelchair because his old legs hurt. And then we went past Poets' Corner that we've spoken about before, down into the oldest part of the Abbey.
This is a statue of...
William Shakespeare.
Yeah, and then opposite that was a musician's corner as well with some of the English musicians.
So yeah, we went down that corridor there, didn't we? And we could see across the grassway, that was the old infirmary they used to use. And then up these stairs at the side led to the oldest store in England, but we're debating that because up here in Yorkshire we think we've got the oldest, called the Bingley Arms, which is a really nice place. There it is, the oldest store. They have big spotlights on it so you don't miss it. Halley's Comet there. Maybe there's a service on. Yes.
So this is the coronation chair. King Edward I had the chair made, and that was to hold the Stone of Scone, which he brought to England from Scotland in 1296. This same chair has been used at every coronation ceremony since 1308. The stone which used to be there isn't now. That was returned back to Scotland in 1996, but it does come back to the Abbey, or it will come back to the Abbey for future coronations.